Hi and welcome to all the NEET PG aspirants. In today's video, we are going to discuss about this very important topic, which is gastrointestinal polyposis syndromes. So I'm going to discuss this topic mainly because these are the topic which are going to be a source of a lot of clinical cases. So you will see that you will be very frequently asked about Peutz-Jeghers syndrome or Cowden syndrome or tuberous sclerosis or FAP, which are going to be an integrated topic for you to cover, which could include your pathology or dermatology or your surgery. So without wasting any time, we are going to discuss all those. I am going this is a image from your Robbins 10th edition. I am going to discuss very crisp and small points from each and everything. So let's start. First, we are going to discuss familial adenomatous polyposis, which is FAP. So we have different forms of FAP. So classical FAP which is there, it manifests around 10 to 15 years, whereas attenuated FAP, it manifests around 40 to 50 years. As said by the name, attenuated, it is of low mild disease, so it is going to on the onset is 40 to 50 years. The very classical point is FAP is due to the mutation of gene called as adenomatous polyposis coli, which is on chromosome 5th. Okay, so the symptom, the presentation is that there are multiple adenomas in your GI system, in your classical FAP, your attenuated FAP, even in Gardner's and Turcot's. But now what changes the subtypes of FAP is that the extra GI symptoms, GI presentation. In classical FAP, what you see is you have congenital retinal pigment epithelium hypertrophy, which is an ophthalmic fundoscopic feature. The other thing is that in Gardner syndrome, so in Gardner syndrome, what you have very classical as an extra intestinal manifestation is osteomas, thyroid and desmoid tumors, and your skin cyst. Whereas in Turcot's syndrome, you have brain tumors, which could include medulloblastoma and glioblastomas. The other entity is MUTYH. MUTYH associated polyposis is due to the mutation of the gene MUTYH, which is similar to your FAP. Okay, now since we have finished FAP, we are going to discuss other things. The small point is about juvenile polyposis. Due to the since the name is juvenile, so it is going to present within 5 years, and the genes involved as MAD4 and TGF beta and BMPRA1. The other most important is your Peutz-Jeghers syndrome, which is a very classically asked in your clinical cases. The presentation is 10 to 15 years. The gene involved is STK11. Okay, and now what you have is histologically you will have arborizing polyps, which could be there in small intestine most commonly, more than colon and stomach. And the classical feature of you see on your clinical examination is presence of pigmented macules, and there is increased risk of all the cancers, which could include your colon, breast, lung, pancreatic. So the question most commonly asked is what is the syndrome which is associated with 100% or highest risk of causing pancreatic carcinoma is your Peutz-Jeghers syndrome. The other syndrome we are talking about is your Cowden syndrome. So Cowden syndrome also presents within 15 years, and the affected gene is PTEN on chromosome number 10. You are going to have presentation with hamartomas inflammatory intestinal polyps and other benign skin tumors and malignant thyroid and breast tumors. But the point is that there is no increase in GI cancers in Cowden syndrome or benign Ruvalcaba-Riley syndrome. Okay, the other most important point which you have to discuss is tuberous sclerosis. As you know, tuberous sclerosis is due to tuberous sclerosis 1 and 2 gene mutation, which codes for hamartine and tuberin, and it involves the mTOR pathway. Hence sirolimus and everolimus are used. It presents with hamartomas polyps in your GI, whereas extra GI features, which the other most important GI feature is presence of renal angiomyolipomas, and this could present as such as that patient could present with abdominal pain and sudden hypotension due to rupture of these lesions, which will cause massive hemorrhage into the GI system. Apart from that, you know that tuberous sclerosis presents as intellectual disability, epilepsy, facial angiofibromas, and cortical tumors. So this was all about the gastrointestinal polyposis syndrome based on this Robbins image. Okay, thank you, and we are going to discuss all the other topics which are related to this in the next video. Thank you.